Welcome back to North of the Broad. I'm your host, Karen Wyman, coming to you from Higher Ground in Buford. I'm joined this afternoon by Janie Eflin, the Executive Director from Born to Read. Hi, Janie.
Hi, how are you?
Good. So great to have you as a guest
you.
on North of the Broad. So I'm sure there are people out there who are not familiar with Born to Read. Could you give our viewers a little bit of background and tell them about what the mission is of Born to Read?
I certainly will. The mission of Born to Read is to promote literacy, early language development in Beaufort County. Our main mission, though, is to help parents understand that they are the child's first and most important teacher. We have 50 volunteers that go into our hospitals, and we go in with a resource bag and we help parents understand what developmentally they can do with their babies when they come home from the hospital.
Well, I was unaware that this program even existed until I saw you on our lineup. So what hospitals do you service here in Beaufort County, and how do you train all those volunteers in order to spread the mission?
We serve Beaufort Memorial, Coastal Carolina, and Hilton Head. So we hit all the hospitals in Beaufort County. What we do, we have training specifically to Born to Read, and then we also have the hospital training that's required through the hospitals.
Of course.
But what we do is go after we've trained our volunteers, they go in with the resource bag, and in that resource bag they have information that parents can work with their babies when they go home up to the age of 15 months, which is how we follow through with the children. So our volunteers are taught to talk with parents a little bit about research and the importance of oral language development and what they can do at home. We provide a onesie with the name of the hospital, a bib, we have 2 board books, and we have other information that pertains to Beaufort County. So our volunteers are trained to talk with the parents about the onesie as they dress the baby. We want them to talk about the baby's arms, the baby's head, pulling the clothes on. As they feed the baby, the bib is to remind them to talk with their baby during feeding time. Our board books, we explain to the parents that it's never too early to read to the child.
Right.
And then we have other information that gives little pointers and then milestones that they can watch for.
Yeah, well, certainly, I remember I'm now the mother of a 13 and 15-year-old, and I sometimes long for the days of having a baby versus teenage angst. But, you leave and you say to yourself, I've just been released with this infant and I really don't know what am I supposed to do?
Exactly.
So, I think it would have probably been helpful for any new mother, any new parent to sort of know what are the things that I need to be looking for.
Exactly. The exciting thing about our organization, we're the very first organization that goes in to see parents and a baby at birth. And we partner with Beaufort County Schools and the library system. So they leave with a booklet from Beaufort County Schools that tells them all the resources we have in Beaufort County, pediatricians, OT, PT, speech, any resource that a parent might need, any kind of a service they might need. The library system also publishes a quarterly newsletter, and they go home, it's more of a pamphlet really. They go home with that in the resource bag, and what that does, anything in Beaufort County from St. Helena to Hilton Head, services that the library that they have from birth to adult, they go home with that in the bag. But what we do, our bags are in Spanish and in English. So they're getting that information. If they need a library card, we will sign them up in the hospital. If they need GED information or ESOL information here, they leave with all of that we can help them with, and we can also turn it into the school system.
Yeah, so obviously a number of resources that you offer all in your one bag that you're giving new parents, new mothers who are leaving with a newborn. Is there some follow-up that you do afterward, because it can be a little overwhelming to get home and I've got this infant and maybe I have feeding issues or maybe I have, a colicky baby. It's easy to sometimes put things aside and focus on what's most important at the moment. But any follow-ups to sort of see how people are doing, new parents are doing with that infant, and to make sure that they are aware of all these resources?
I'm so proud of what we do because we follow up for the first 15 months. We send a quarterly newsletter with developmental steps, information that they have. We have Facebook, which also gives tips. But on the baby's first birthday, they also are given another board book. So for 15 months, we follow up. Our program is expanding now in 2017 to follow up through age 3. There's a little bit of a gap in Beaufort County between birth and age 3. So we're hoping to do parent information sessions and trainings that will be in conjunction with the library and Beaufort County schools, so that after 15 months, we'll follow up to age 3.
Yep, it's great. You know, I have to say, I'm reminiscing in my own mind as I'm hearing you talk about board books and the board book collection that we still have in our house that nobody's willing to let go of, right? You know, the Eric Carle and the Goodnight Moon and all those wonderful big thick books in the color, and how that time together as a family, when you've got 2 young children together, is really a great bonding time, and a time that you know, solidifies relationships and things that kids remember. And so we still have all those books. It's great what you're doing here in the community, and just, you know, as you mentioned, between that 15 months and expanding it to that 3 years really closes that gap when early intervention needs to happen in case somebody needs some services. Janie, thank you so much for being a guest on North of the Broad this afternoon. We appreciate it. That wraps up this edition of North of the Broad. Hope to see you next time.